Today we've got CJ Bouchard, CEO of Excel Fitness, which operates over 170 Planet Fitness locations around America. I had the good fortune to speak for Excel Fitness Leadership Summit, and their entire leadership team are rock stars. This is a rocket ship organization, and CJ is just such an incredible guy. How he leads in his business, how he leads his life, how he leads his family. It's inspiring, encouraging, and I'm just so grateful to have the chance to drop it with him today with CEO CJ Bouchard. You shot a bear this morning. Is that part of the normal daily routine?
So that's funny. During bear season, yes. Like you hope it is during bear season, right? The part of the normal routine. And I'm in North Carolina. I have some property in North Carolina that I manage. We've got a lodge on it, and we're excited. We've got some of the largest bears in the world. So every year, this is the time of year that we go bear hunting. So I was able to drive out there yesterday and I hunted last night, and then we hunted this morning, and this morning we got lucky. So it was good.
Well, I don't hear that very often when I do these podcasts. So, CJ, I truly appreciate the time. It was such an honor, such a pleasure joining the Excel Fitness team at the Leadership Summit. And right when you and I started talking, I knew we had to do this. And, as we dive in, I would just love to learn a little bit more, because Excel Fitness, Planet Fitness is a rocket ship. What are some of the pillars for leadership that you drive on when you share with your team?
Yeah, I think when we talk about, our business, we look at, integrity as something that we're highly focused on.
Yeah.
And we talk about, motivating our team, inspiring our team, ensuring that our people are empowered.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about, being a team player and having integrity and high moral compass. I mean, that's, we always have like our North Star is really just that, is making sure that everybody understands, what we're all about. And, you can have a sign on the wall that says everything about your company, who you are, your mission statement, all that. But if you don't live it every single day and express that every time you talk about your core values with your team, every time we start a meeting, we talk about our core values. We talk about how important that is with the team. And it means a lot. That's the basis of who we are. We want to be a people first business. And we say this, I say this all the time, and I mean it. Like, I want to be a development training company, really an educational development training company, masquerading as Excel Fitness, masquerading as Planet Fitness operators. That's the goal. So if you can develop your team and you can empower them and you can educate them, everything else works way better after that. That's the goal.
It's so good. And I mean, I felt that. I felt that with everyone there, that drive, that hunger to do better, and that support from the team that they have the tools there. How do you make sure that you're showing up and being that? Because that's what I really got from you and the leaders is you are it, and you're setting the culture. Yeah. How do you do that day in and day out?
Look, I'm an execution guy. I like to execute. So it frustrates me. I think there's certain people that they either have that or don't have that. And I've been very fortunate to be in this business now. It's 21 years of Planet. I've been in the fitness industry 38 years. So every day when I get up, like I love what I do. I'm so fortunate in what I do every single day. Yeah. And we've got almost 3,500 employees. I think about them. I think about how we can empower them, continue to get them to rise to the next level. That's the goal. That's the goal. So for me, it's how can we be better today than we were yesterday? How can we be better tomorrow than we were today? And you've got to continually like look at yourself in the mirror every single day and make sure that you can be better. I was telling my executive team,
Yeah.
I want I want to make sure that everybody understands that I know the seat that I sit in and I
Yeah.
know what that means. So I think when you do know that and own that, it allows you to really push that down to the rest of the team and have them own the seats they sit in as well.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And, you touched on your journey in fitness. And of course, the team shared a little with me, and I think because they're excited and proud of it. But, I bring that up to say, would you mind sharing a little bit more about your journey in fitness and also what that taught you? Maybe the discipline or the dedication. I'm just, from an outsider, that's what pops up to me is there must have been such discipline and dedication on your fitness path.
It started early, and I had a really good mentor early on. My best friend's dad got us in the garage doing bench presses when we were 13 years old.
Yeah.
And my cousin, there's a group of us that are we've been best friends since we were probably 10 years old. And we all still, we still have a text message chain going on today, right? Like this group has kind of like, we started off early on exercising in the garage. You go to, middle school and you start, you're playing sports and you're a little bit ahead of the game because you had somebody who was able to teach you what kind of right looks like, and then you get into high school and for high school, I was playing sports. I was doing track and field, and I was playing football. And in my junior year, we decided to move from New England down to Texas. And I was playing football in New England. And when I moved to Texas, I was like, well, I'll play football down here. And that didn't happen. So you look at all the guys there. I'm a small guy, at the time, probably 5'5", 130 pounds. And you go down there and you see, Friday Night Lights. And it's just Magnum everywhere, right? These guys have been playing together since they were, 5 years old, and they all weigh, 400 pounds, right? So you're like, there's no way I'm going to play football, but I love training.
Yeah.
So I started out even harder, and then had a good buddy of mine that I met in high school, and he's like, man, you should do this bodybuilding show. I was like, bodybuilding? Like, why would I do a bodybuilding show? He's like, no, you could do this bodybuilding show, and that was at 17. I did my first bodybuilding show. I was 18, and I liked it. I thought it was like, this is cool. This was a lot of fun. I mean, the discipline of it and meeting the different people that were there. And it was something completely different from organized sports. I'd always played organized sports, but this was like so dialed in on you individually. Like you're competing against yourself.
Yeah.
Can you do one more rep? Can you not eat the chocolate cake? Right. All these things, like they all played a role. And at a young age, you look at that and you say, okay, well, you can get to a crossroads when you're young, and at 17, 18, your late teens, you look at it and like, do I want to go left and drink and hang out with my buddies and, try to get into bars illegally and do that stuff? Or do I try to hit the gym and try to be focused and enjoy that? I was really fortunate to kind of turn right and go into the gym and work out and see the discipline. And my dad had been in the service. He served in the reserves, and he had discipline, so kind of instilled that in us as we were growing up. So I really liked it from that perspective. And then I got into powerlifting through another buddy of mine, and I was good. I was good at it, and I started competing in powerlifting competitions. And look, when you're a young person and you're good at something and people are throwing accolades at you, you continue to do that. It happened to be just a good area, I think, to grow in. And then growing up in the fitness industry, I was able to really do some personal training, some nutrition counseling, get with the right people. And as the story goes, I mean, it's overnight success that happened for
Right.
37 years, right? Like that's how it works. It's like your story, right?
100%. It's something where Steve Jobs has a great quote. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only do it backwards. All these moments in our lives that connect and sync up. And it's, you 16, 17 in the garage doing all the lifts and the cutting weight. And you didn't know that it was going to lay the foundation for this. And that's just so cool about it.
Yeah, no idea.
There are these years of teen years where you can go into depression, you can go into all the bad stuff that you mentioned. And I always say, have the kid find a positive outlet. For me, that was lacrosse. That was for you, bodybuilding and weightlifting. And it's incredible. Do you see that now in your family? I also know you share another passion that you were doing this morning.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. I think when you throw that all together, and then you throw the bow hunting in with it, it it actually like the level of discipline just goes up 5 or 6 notches. And I say specifically bow hunting because I think you could hunt, and I've hunted with a rifle before, but bow hunting is a whole different level. Like you're talking playing chess instead of checkers.
Yeah.
I think that's when you look at it, you've got to get within, a certain yardage. You want to generally be within, 35, 40 yards of an animal before you release an arrow. Instead of 350 yards
Yeah.
with a rifle, right? So
Yeah.
I think the discipline of that and understanding what it takes to operate at a high level when you're bow hunting, because I like to mountain bow hunt. I like to hunt elk out west, mule deer out west, challenging,
Yeah.
challenging myself to climb, 10,000 feet and backpack, and then put the animal on your back when you harvest one and you take it off the
Yeah.
mountain, and and take care of it because it's food. When once you
Yeah.
harvest it, it's food,
Yeah.
right? So you've got to take care of it. You've got to be disciplined. So that takes discipline. So all of these things take discipline, and there's some really great people that are out there that do way better than I do, and I just try to like learn from them and follow, and I try to, and that's for everything I do in my life. I'm trying to be better. Like I said, every single day, I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. And that takes reading books and, listening to podcasts and meeting people like yourself, and opening up your eyes to, what, quite frankly, what your capabilities are. And I think people generally limit themselves. And I always ask the question, why can't I do that?
That's so good. And that's a mindset. And also in that, that humility to get better at something. I think that so often, especially as we progress and we start to get some success or reputation, there's a pain that comes with learning or improving or trying something new or asking for advice that sometimes we don't want to go through. And so people just don't. And so I admire the humility to learn from people, to go bow hunt, to do these things that stretch you. And do you feel that benefiting you when you step into business life?
I do. It's an exact correlation. I look at that, and I think it's absolutely brought me to the level that I'm at today as, the CEO of our company, and being as successful as our business has been. So, and I say success not just from a financial perspective, but the success of the individuals that have been with us for 20 plus years, and want to continue on the journey of what we're doing, building communities through fitness, and providing opportunities to impact people's lives. Like that's an unbelievable position to be in. And I don't think I would be here today if I hadn't had all of that background. You have to have that discipline. You have to have that thought process, and it absolutely correlates. It from bow hunting brings that over to the business without a doubt. I was actually gone out of my office for 33 days this fall, and I was out west, and I took that time to kind of recalibrate, to 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 kind of look internally at myself, to understand the business a little bit more. Sometimes when you're working in the business, it's very difficult to work on the business.
Yeah.
So I like to get out of the business sometimes, and then sit back and then think about what needs to be done from a higher level to really work on the business. And that's some of the best time I have as an executive, actually being out of the business and then looking back in, and then allowing the team to operate at a high level without me being there day to day. And then you come back in and it's like, hey, where are we at today? What do we need to go? The house hasn't burnt down. What needs to happen? So
It's so good. So much of that. And you know, it goes to, I got one more question for you here, and it's the vision. So you and I are catching up. It's a year from now. What is the vision for the company and for CJ?
Yeah, listen, I think we're going to continue on the path that we're on, which is to build great clubs in great markets, and for us to, you know, provide the best product out there for you know, Excel Fitness, Planet Fitness, and we're going to continue on that path, and we've got a great plan for that. I think for myself, it's focusing a lot more on the growth of the team and making sure leveling everybody up and continuing to empower them. So at some point in time, you know, in the future, when I'm looking at, you know, exiting this unbelievable business, and it'll happen in the future, you always kind of want to have that exit plan in place. Well, when that happens, I want to make sure that the business is being taken care of. And I don't see myself fully exiting 100%, but, you know, moving on to whatever that next level is, and providing guidance back to the team. And quite frankly, I love what I do every single day. I love how we're operating the business and what's going on. I love the competition that we have, because competition's growing and makes us better. And I look at it and say, well, okay, well, if, you know, competition's coming, how do we get better, right? How do we continue to compete and make sure our product is the best? So I would say, you know, it's business as usual, and continue to get better in all aspects of life.
It's so good. You know, there's a central through line in everything that you've said today, whether it was the powerlifting, whether it's business and bringing it to the next level, where it's bow hunting, it's getting better every day. And you live that. And what I love is your love for this work, your passion for people, empowering people, and you can't buy it. You know, it's in you. And
Yeah.
I experienced that firsthand. I experienced it in the culture. And CJ, I just appreciate you. Thank you for inviting me to join you all at the Leadership Summit. And I just so appreciate you sharing your time today.
Listen, thank you, man. You were inspiration to so many people. There's so many of our team members that said you were the best speaker that we've ever had at any one of our summits, which is fantastic to hear. And the motivation that they had leaving there, you know, they felt inspired. They felt motivated. They could connect with you. So I think that was fantastic. So if there's anybody out there looking for a great, you know, inspirational, motivational speaker, man, they need to get you there.
CJ, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Alex, thank you, man.
Discipline and getting better every day. I love that. CJ lives it. It's inspiring, and it's something that you and I can use in our lives every single day. Trying to get better today, and then when it's tomorrow, doing it again. Absolutely love getting to know CJ and the leadership team at Excel Fitness at their summit and here today. Let me know what you think of the episode. And this is all about leading beyond changes and challenges to be unstoppable, to get to the goals that matter most. We'll see you right back here.